And Phil said, well, the guy said it's going to be an hour, but just so you know, sometimes it's a lot less. Somebody else can go on from there. Holy crap.
Welcome to 10-Minute Travels. With me, as always, is Shane Patrick.
With me, as always, is Phil Freeman. Today, we're going to be talking to Patrick Verity about riding motorcycles in Peru and a few other things.
Let's get right to it, shall we? Yeah, that next day, Russ's bike was having trouble with the altitude starting. It was an F800. About that BMW, but it was. And we had to, we resolved to pull start it. And we took 2 or 3 times at it down the street. By the third time, there was lines of people watching us with smiles on their face and curiosity and warmth. But boy, it was something for them to watch us try to get our shit together just to leave town.
Yeah, and to clarify, that was a brand new 850 GS.
You were on the Honda, though. You were fine, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, except for the fork seals.
So one thing that happened in the morning, while you guys were towing the bike, I was trying to kind of keep people off that street so you and Russ could make a go of it. And there was a guy with a little, probably a 3-year-old child. And he watched it all. And then he stuck his child in my arms so he could take a picture of me holding his child. And then he thanked me, took his child back, and we both went about our day. It's just a weird little moment. That wouldn't happen here.
How did he hand the child to you? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Like this.
While you were on the bike?
I was standing, but I was all geared up. I was just keeping people onto the sidewalk so you and Russ could make your tow.
Did he take a photo of you and the child then, or?
Yep, he took a photo of the child and me, and Ed took a photo of him taking a photo of the child and me.
Nice, Ed.
And in the photo that Ed had of the man taking a photo of me and the child was crying.
We were on a lonely stretch of road, and Shane was usually the sweeper. So in case anything went sideways, which we went through 5 flats, so at least
7.
And that kind of eats up a little bit of time, especially if there's an inner tube involved. And we kind of got our system right. We had the tools finally in the back where they should be, and we weren't stretched out too far from each other. But we were on one lonely stretch of road and near dark, and I had stopped at the side of the road for a nature moment, and everybody passed me, and Shane too. And then I started riding for a while, and I didn't see him for a while. And then I came over a rise, and I looked way down the valley, and I saw Shane there on the road. And I thought, oh, that's so nice of him being sweeper and waiting for me. And I pulled up, and he looked at me, and he looked at his front tire, and he looked at me, and yeah, he had a flat tire, and that's why he stopped, because he didn't have a choice. And there we were, me, him, and the Andes, and nobody, and we're out of cell phone range, kind of, and we need to find a big rock so we can center it and start pulling our gear out. And Russ and Patrick show up, and they were watching us for a second, and then they said, "Oh, you guys look like you got this." Okay, so and then when we're done with this, we need to talk about Ed's bike, because the main bolt in the engine broke. So, and the sun is continuing to go down. And it was just, oh man, this is going to be a long night.
But that happened after the best morning where we stayed in, and then we climbed right out of town and just kept going up and up and up. Do you remember that one? Because, I mean, that's a morning of phenomenal riding that we forgot because this craziness happened in the afternoon.
Yeah, I remember that leaving that village was fantastic. It was just switchback after switchback after switchback for an hour and a half.
On gravel. Oh, that was beautiful.
But nice gravel.
Yeah, we were leaving Cusco, and we were headed to Colca Canyon that day. And theoretically, it wouldn't have been that long of a day, but we hit a construction, and they had us hold back for almost 2 hours. I think that's a factor. And then, yeah, it got beautiful.
That's worth talking about is the 2 times we had to wait for construction.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about one of them.
The first one. Let's talk about the first one.
Okay, so we're
Which
stopped.
one was that? Explain.
Well, you brought it up. You said when it happened. So we're in construction. There's a mile of traffic parked. So we pass everybody, go to the front. And Phil said, well, the guy said it's going to be an hour, but just so you know, sometimes it's a lot less. Somebody else can go on from there. Holy crap.
Well, everybody took off their gear and reapplied salsa de gringo. Some people enjoyed a cigarette. It was chill. So everyone was kind of relaxing, let their guard down. And then we heard the person with the radio. I think it was a man, the woman at the second one. He yelled, "Listo motos." And then we were just being passed while we were trying to get our stuff back together.
Like every driver in Peru thinks they're a race car driver. It was crazy. Like full on race, like smiling as they wave passing us like suckers. Oh my God. And we're scrambling to put our gear on.
Yeah, talk about that. How do they drive?
Well, that's another thing is I remember we were in a city, and when we were in a city, we'd try to stay in tight groups close to Phil. And there's a guy like pushing me out of my lane right in there. Like if it was Alaska, he'd be wanting to shoot. And he goes up. I'm like, oh God, here it is. And he's like, where are you guys from? He just wanted to talk to us to say hi. I thought he was trying to kill us all. Oh God. And he was super friendly, just like everybody there.
Yeah, I would say they might be the most assertive drivers that I've ridden around. I'm pretty sure they're the best.
Very skilled. Very skilled.
Then that brings us to the second of the long road constructions where we had to wait. There was that couple in the white Jeep, and they chit-chatted with us a little bit. And then on that one, we knew the guy said, okay, they're going to start pretty soon. So we all geared up and we took off, and that guy in the Jeep could drive. I was trying to block him so that he wouldn't get between all of us. I was just trying to block him to make our life better. And he was cool about that. He didn't get aggressive, but he was waiting for me to let my guard down. But then when we got through the actual gravel and the hard bits, and it was paved, he was passing everybody. And then he must have pulled off because he passed us all again. Yeah. Remember? Like that guy could drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The percentage of people who can keep up with motorcycles in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, nothing against our sponsor, Jeep Grand Cherokee, but holy cow, that most people can't do that.
I can't.
And I think he was just an average dude.
So road constructions in Peru are basically no rules. It's a rally. First one gets there first, and that's it. Then there's no car, what do they call it? A lead car?
Oh, a pilot car.
Car. And there's no rules. You can ride as fast as you want on whatever side of the road you want. No problem. That would never go down here.
And there's the lane you're in, and then the big mound of gravel from the grader or whatever. And then all of a sudden the lane you're in might not be the lane to be in anymore. Like it just ends, and you got to go over the top of that hump, like put both feet on the ground and duck walk. But there's people behind you trying to. It's fun. That was Patrick Verity talking about riding motorcycles in Peru and a few other things. If you want to learn more about Patrick or anything else we do at 10 Minute Travels, please visit 10minutetravels.com.
And we want to remind you to make sure that your sense of humor matches your sense of adventure.
And please like, subscribe, and share this podcast on all the platforms.